Birds movie is based off the Rovio app called Angry Birds. And what this movie is about is that there's an island filled with happy-go-lucky birds. They're always happy, always cheerful, except for a couple, one of them being Red, played by Jason Sudeikis, who's very angry at stuff because he gets made fun of because of his big eyebrows, and he has to go to meetings for his anger management pretty much with other characters like Chuck, Bomb, or Terrence. But one day, a group of pigs show up on the island and they want to make friends with the birds, and the friends buy it, and Red is the only one who's questioning them, and it turns out Red might be right about questioning them because the pigs are up to some sort of secret agenda. Now, I was not looking forward to this movie at all. Guys, like, as soon as I heard they were making a movie based off of the Angry Birds app, where you take birds and you put them in a slingshot and you pluck them over to pigs on a structure of wood, brick, and concrete, all that stuff, I was not looking forward to that. Like, how can you make a good or decent movie out of that? Well, they actually did it. In my opinion, this movie, big surprise. I found this movie to be pretty decent. I actually liked this movie a bit. I don't know how they did it. I had no doubt in my mind that the animation wouldn't look beautiful, because it does. Like, everything looks good. The designs for the birds and the pigs just looks extremely well done. Very good job. I forget who animated this. Sony Pictures, right? I think it's Sony Pictures. Probably them. And even the voice cast did a really good job with their performances, especially Jason Sudeikis. I thought he was really good in this movie. I think he fit perfectly into this character, and I even found some enjoyment with Peter Dinklage as the Mighty Eagle. Like, as soon as I heard that he was cast, I was like, okay, you know what? That's actually some pretty good casting. There was one character in particular that had me gut-busting, and that would be Terrence, a big red bird voiced by Sean Penn, even though the majority of what he does is one joke in particular involving him, hysterical. Like, that was the biggest laugh I had throughout the entire movie. Terrence, best character in this thing. And Bill Hader is always one of my favorites, so I also found some enjoyment in his character, Leonard. And the action, like, particularly in the finale of this movie when they actually do a big attack, the action was really well done. The animation, of course, still looking very good. And I gotta say, there was some humor that I actually found to be quite clever. I was a little surprised when some of the humor was spoken, like, whoa, that's a little mature. However, that's one of my big problems, is the comedy. I wasn't really laughing at this movie a whole lot. I did laugh at a couple parts. I laughed hugely at Terrence. It's just the other parts of this movie I didn't laugh at, and that was the majority of the time. I chuckled and laughed like every once in a while, but it was not consistent. Especially with the character Chuck. Josh Gad. Dang it, dude. What are you doing, man? I love him as Olaf in Frozen. He is one of the best parts in Frozen. Then he did Pixels. That movie kind of sucked, and he kind of sucks. And now he's in this movie, and it's decent, but he sucks. Come on, dude. Do not let me down when you're in Beauty of the Beast. Come on. Don't do it, man. Chuck, honestly, extremely annoyed me throughout the entire movie. And it's not even just Chuck, some of the other birds as well, because I sided with Red so much when he says, you're not asking basic questions. I was like, yeah, you guys really aren't asking basic questions. How have you been able to live all these years if you're this stupid? The birds were so stupid to the point that it hurt, and it actually annoyed me when they made fun of Red for actually pointing out criticisms with themselves. Like, that just... I actually sided with Red quite a bit, mainly because I frickin' am Red. Whenever I'm in a bad mood, not a lot of the time, but whenever I am, I usually just make snarky comments to myself, and I become extremely sarcastic. I am that frickin' bird. And speaking of birds, I guess I should mention pigs. Bill Hader, I liked him as Leonard. It's just the rest of the pigs I didn't really find that funny. There was one moment, though, involving the pigs. It was a throwback reference to an old horror film directed by Stanley Kubrick. I'll just leave it at that. That was awesome. I was laughing hysterically at that one bit. Great job. But any other pig in this movie, I did not really find all that funny. Not annoying, just not that funny. And I guess this might be a nitpick, but not really, I guess. This movie's called Angry Birds, and I didn't really get angry from any of the Angry Birds. Terrence? Yeah, he's freaking angry. He's freaking crazy. But Chuck doesn't seem angry. Red, yeah, you can tell he's angry, but for the most part, he just plays it off as really sarcastic and just whatever. There are a couple times where there are angry moments with the characters, but for the most part, not really all that angry, especially the character Bomb. I like Danny McBride as Bomb, but holy crap, he does not seem angry. Like, he does not seem angry at all. He seems like a decent guy. Like, these are angry birds? What? And I guess this is also kind of a nitpick. The story isn't really all that strong or unique in some ways, but they did the best that they could based off of an app where you just fling birds at other pigs, and I gotta give them some props for that. I had a fun time with this film. Like, I could probably watch it again. I was entertained by a few of the characters, the animation is beautiful to look at, and some of the humor is actually chuckle-worthy. And I know a lot of people were hyping Warcraft to be the first best video game movie in the entire world. In my opinion, the Angry Birds movie is actually the first good video game movie that we've gotten, because I'm not counting Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry, no, that movie frickin' sucks. And Need for Speed is alright. I think I gave it a C+ in my original review, but Angry Birds, it's a decent movie. I actually like it. It's actually the first good video game movie that I think I've seen. Until at least Assassin's Creed, which looks phenomenal. Overall, I'm gonna give the Angry Birds movie a B. I had a lot of fun with this film. There are a couple times where I got annoyed, and I guess the story could have been a lot stronger, and it could have been really, really special. But overall, I still had a fun time, and I'm just really surprised at how much fun I actually did have with this film. If you saw the Angry Birds movie, leave in the comments below of what you thought of it. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.